You said something is wrong with brothers who don't know how to support a sister.
Yeah. Full stop.
So 1 minute you're kicking Christians out, and the next minute you're trying to go to church to make up for it? Nah. What is going on, folks? Welcome to the channel. I'm Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to view my content. Make sure that if you're following me on all these platforms up here and down here, that you are subscribed and following them indeed. Also, double check to make sure that you click this thumb button. I said that completely out of whack, y'all. The thumb button is what helps keep my content consistently recommended to you and helps push it out in the YouTube algorithm. The reason why I'm so thrown off because I'm not used to this microphone being right here. I might move it back down to where it is, but after this video, we're going to see how it all sounds. Last but not least, double check and make sure that you still are subscribed to the channel, folks. All right, appreciate it if you would really do that, okay? Got to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, because Kamala Harris, as we know, a few days ago, she had some of her rally goers, especially like there was a Karen there that kicked out some Christian young men who said Jesus is Lord, Christ is King. And she said, you're at the wrong rally. You need to go to that small one down the street, right? We all seen how that went. We all see how it goes. We seen that she actually did not go to the Catholic event, the Al Smith dinner. That it's like a tradition. I think she's the first in like over 40 some plus years that did not attend one of these. So among Christians, she kind of cut a lot of wrath from a lot of Christians, right? But you know, there's certain Christians that no matter what, you know what? Let's just keep it real. A lot of black folks that are used to being pimped and played, they didn't care. So what does she do? She showed up to one of the most diabolical prosperity preaching, stealing your money preachers out there, Jamal Bryant. She shows up to his church. And I guess that's her way of getting sympathy, but it has nothing really to do with that. She's not there to pretty much get sympathy for what she said or the remarks she made about those two young Christians. She went there because she needed to go get a hold of the niggas. Yeah, you heard me. She went there because she knew that she is doing terrible amongst black people. President Trump has 20% of the black vote, according to the polls. Kamala Harris has 70, right? So she's going to one of the big mega church preachers that's on TV, one of the flashy, charismatic, whatever like that, you know, sow a seed and God's going to bless you, you know, take back what the roach stole and what the cankerworm ate, all that nonsense. She goes to this church to try to get favor amongst black people. And what's crazy about this, you know what? Y'all just listen to this real quick, okay?
And as Georgians turn out in droves to vote early, candidates are looking toward the pews to get ballots in their favor.
Historically, black churches have played a critical role in educating voters and getting them to actually go to the polls. Meantime, over at New Birth, they're undergoing security screenings ahead of Vice President Kamala Harris's visit, and she plans to speak about breast cancer awareness. There might be some other issues on the platform as well. Maggie Green heads to the polls in part to pay homage to her ancestors.
I didn't have that privilege when I was a young girl growing up in Mississippi. And my mother and father didn't have that privilege. And I cry because it was a struggle for them to vote.
From past struggles and during name calling and voter suppression to casting her vote today.
I'm a sharecropper's daughter. I came from that era where my parents and everybody in the community would leave the cotton field, go to the church, and talk about their rights.
Both presidential candidates will look to the pews to drive people to the polls this election.
We are welcoming Kamala Harris as vice president, not as a candidate.
Reverend Jamal Bryant is senior pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, where Vice President Kamala Harris is set to visit Sunday.
We have a moral and a biblical and a spiritual responsibility to let the community know what is at stake and what's on the line.
Mordecai was man enough to know that in order for me to be a man, I got to know how to support a woman. Something is wrong with brothers who don't know how to support a sister. It was a sister that raised you. It was a sister that taught you how to read. It was a sister that taught you how to bathe yourself.
In the context of the vice president, were you trying to send a message?
We've got to be able to vote, that misogyny is still real in our community.
Whoa. Time out. Negro. And to all you holies want to be more spiritual than don't touch God's anointing. Shut up. Bullcrap. Don't touch God's anointing. The dude, anyway. We're facing misogyny amongst the black community where 70% of all black households don't have a father on. What the freaking kind of misogyny are you talking about? What are you talking about? I guarantee you, just like in a lot of black churches, I promise y'all, you don't even have to believe me. I know this. I've been to several conferences, spoken in different churches, the whole nine. I'm telling you right now, in majority of a lot of black churches like these, you're going to find an astronomical amount of women in there more than you are men. The most men I've seen in most churches that I've been to, or more churches that I've even know of, Pastor G. Craig Lewis in Texas. Men, lots of men. But most churches, the black churches, the ones that are like this, it's always going to be a pastor like that. You're going to have a few men, but it's going to be majority women. Oh, that's a whole nother subject right there, y'all. I just threw that in there. It didn't cost you nothing.
I think it's helpful to encourage people to vote, especially in the church.
Caleb Gordon understands the role the church has played over time, especially when it comes to exercising civil rights.
Black men couldn't always vote at one time. I think I said that earlier, too. I think that's even more reason why we should vote and take advantage of it. I don't look at people any differently because of how they vote.
Maggie Green knows about the sacrifices made so voters could stand in line and make their voices heard. She says the important part is that people go out and vote.
So you saw all that, you heard all that, right? Now, what I was saying to you guys earlier before I had y'all watch that video is she goes there, right? And of all people, Christians, we're supposed to be about life. I'm just telling you right now, you can try to argue this, but there is no way that I'm going to be able to get convinced by other Christians that you're going to be able to convince me that sacrificing children is okay in the eyes of God when the Bible clearly says he hates hands that shed innocent blood. There's no way you're going to be able to convince me. I mean, I don't know how you're even going to argue to even get me to see it. There's just no way. So you're at this rally talking about the killing babies, pretty much. You got somebody say Jesus is king, Christ is, Jesus is Lord, Christ is king. You tell them going down the street to the smaller rally, you at the wrong rally, but then yet you show up at this church. But just like a lot of things, black folks, we can get played, done wrong over and over and over again. And what do? We don't care because it's them. They popular. We like them. This woman is not even black. Like in this video y'all just see, did y'all see the woman that said, my family was sharecropper? Guess what? My grandma was a sharecropper as well. So I'm a third generation and my grandma is still living. She was a sharecropper. I got videos and everything about it, right? Now, let me tell you this. What gets a lot of people so messed up is that they get pissed off at a lot of young people like myself and even my mentees or even young men at my age in your 40s, 30s, and 20s. They get upset because we don't plan on voting like they did. We don't plan on doing that. And they get upset because they've always voted Democrat. But what gets me too is that let's just keep it real. A lot of family, y'all are ignorant to these situations. Y'all just look at white folks being bad without even knowing about policy and parties. All y'all know is the KKK, they did us wrong. So them white folks, and you know what? I wonder what party had the KKK. If that woman said to her mom they were sharecroppers, and my grandma was a sharecropper, that my grandma has told me stories about the KKK down in Tennessee, Brownsville. I've had people in my church, Sister Booker, she's like a mother to me too. She's told me stories about the KKK and all that and what they did and what the white people did back then. So they have this mindset of white people being evil, all those things, right? Without actually going deep into it and getting into the aspect of who it was that was really doing it. And it was the Democratic Party. That's what gets me. So when that guy said, oh, black men, we couldn't even vote. I wonder who was trying to keep you black men from doing that. See what I'm saying? The very lady y'all have coming in there and the party she represents is the party that this woman's sharecropping mom was trying to keep them from voting and all the things they had going. They would talk about the rights what rights they deserve. What party was keeping you guys from trying to do that? What party was encouraging you guys to do that? And just like I had to sit there and say it to my own grandma and my great aunt. Y'all were talking about how y'all couldn't vote and how the KKK was down in the Tennessee area and da-da-da-da. We got family in Mississippi as well. And they would say all these things. I'm like, do y'all know what party was doing that? We don't know. We just know it's them white folks. And that's why no, it wasn't just them white folks. It was white folks in the Democratic Party. The white people part of the Republican Party are the ones who push for you to get civil rights. White folks in the Republican Party are the ones who were dying with black people who were being hunted by the KKK. Black and white people were being hunted by the KKK. Black and white people were being hung by the KKK, burned by the KKK, tar poured on them by the KKK, white and black. What party was doing that, I wonder? Grandma look at that. No, you telling me? Yes. And that's who y'all continuously vote for. So what I'm saying that for is this, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why Kamala Harris picks certain particular type of churches to go to, because they know, and I told y'all before, Democrats, whoever, it can be Republicans as well, I don't know. But they have taken the playbook straight out of a lot of black churches because the same exact psychological strategies that these prosperity preachers, and God's gonna do it, the same exact strategy they use to keep those black people in these black churches pimped out, constantly giving their money, never actually overcoming anything. But just hold on to hope. They give them good feelings. We're going to do it this time. He going to do it this time. This show season, this show year, this is our time. God is opening up doors. All that talking, doing anything like that. And you guys have Kamala Harris who's coming in and they're doing the same exact thing based off of these preachers' playbook. I'm going to do this. I'm going to this. We're going to do. She can't even tell you how she's going to do it. Just like those pastors and preachers, those false prophets, they won't tell you how God is supposed to do it. God told me to show you something. The Lord said, you're coming into a season. And when you come into that season, he's going to elevate you. He's going to elevate you to levels you've never seen before. He's going to put you on that mountain. And in that mountain, you're going to look down on thine enemy. What? If God told you he's going to do something for me, why can't God tell me exactly what it is he's going to do? Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what they do here. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna get prices. I'm gonna work with Congress. No, tell me exactly how you're gonna do it. They can't. Just like these so-called prophets and these churches that God told, they can't tell you exactly what's supposed to happen. And why are they talking in King James language? If God is going to do something for you, God will sit there and say, plain and simple. Somebody comes up, you've been actually praying for God to give you a job. The Lord told me, go apply at this job tomorrow. They're going to call you back and you're going to get that job. Boom. Why got to be the Lord's going to elevate you to sanctimonious levels that you're going to look down on thine enemies and thine enemies are going to look up and say, whoa, stop. Black people, stop. When are we going to be done with all that? But why not have these people keep on playing these same games if y'all keep on falling for the foolishness? You've been in church all these years and there is no change in you. You've been in church all this time and there's been no elevation. There ain't been no take back what the roach stole and what the cankerworm ate and what the fly flew off with. It hasn't been none of that. You still the same person. There's been no change, no growth, no development. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, nothing at all. But you're going to keep on just holding on. That's what they're going to preach. Just hold on to God's unchanging hand. Just hold on to God's unchanging hand. Just, they do all that and y'all just be, And that's what they keep on doing in the Democratic Party as well. A lot of them do it. Hold on, I'm going to help y'all. I'm really going to do it this time. I'm going to change things. Look what she did for the past years, folks. Look, it's the same exact psychological playbook, folks. I know these things. That's why I'm able to bust it wide open. They do not like it. That's why videos like this that y'all watching right now, trust me when I tell you, it's going to be heavily suppressed. And the only way this message will get out for people not to be deceived is for you guys to get into your cell phones. If there's somebody in your contact list in your cell phone, let them know about this channel. Encourage them to subscribe to the channel to get this message out, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you all think by putting it in the comments below after this video. And don't forget, if you would like to see the next video that I would do in chronological order, most likely, it's going to be up there. And things that I do as a variety on this channel, it's going to be down here. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.